Number 6. Pa Gorg, Fraggle Rock. Oh boy, what can I say about this guy? Well, for starters, he's full of himself. He likes to proclaim himself as King of the Universe. Blech. But he's also shown to have a sense of honor. He tends to almost follow his own whims, but he quickly turns around and follows Gorg tradition. I don't know what that means. I'm just reading off the Muppet Wiki.
So, that's all you had to say about it?
Well, putting it in my own words is hard, okay?
Anyway, Jerry Nelson performed the voice and operated the face of Pa Gorg, while Gordon Robertson performed the character's large body in the suit. When Jerry Nelson passed away in 2012 and the creators had to recast the role for the production of Fraggle Rock Back to the Rock, re-owned Canadian puppeteer Frank Meshkulit took over the voice and the face of Pa Gorg for the reboot, while Andy Hayward took over the physical puppetry of the body. Number 5. Harry Monster from Sesame Street. Harry Monster made his television debut in 1970 during the premiere episode of Season 2, which is otherwise known as Episode 131. Big, blue, and incredibly strong, Harry might look intimidating, but he's actually one of Sesame Street's gentlest monsters. Jerry Nelson gave Harry a gravelly, booming voice that he reportedly modeled after actor Jimmy Durante. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But beneath that rough voice, Jerry brought a real sense of warmth and kindness to the character. Whether Harry was learning numbers, helping his friends, or accidentally showing off his super strength, Jerry made him both feel funny and incredibly lovable. Jerry performed Harry for decades, making him the character's defining performer. After Jerry gradually stepped back from the role, a few temporary performers portrayed Harry before Peter Lintz officially took over the character in 2015. Peter continues to perform Harry today, carrying on the legacy that Jerry Nelson created while also performing other classic Muppet characters, including Ernie. For many fans, Harry Monster's big heart, unforgettable voice, and gentle personality are a perfect example of Jerry Nelson's remarkable talent for bringing warmth and humanity to every character he performed. That's why Harry Monster earns the number 5 spot on our list.
At number 4, we have Floyd Pepper from The Muppet Show. This guy is as cool as a cucumber. Floyd is the bass player of Dr. Teeth in the Electric Mayhem, and he's also full of hip sarcasm, which he often directs to one of the Muppet Show regulars like Kermit and Miss Piggy. And especially Miss Piggy. He's also one of the more talkative members of the Electric Mayhem.
Jerry Nelson originated Floyd Pepper for the 1975 pilot Muppet Show, Sex and Violence, and became the defining performer of the Electric Mayhem's laid-back bassist. A talented musician himself, Jerry gave Floyd his signature deep, raspy voice and cool, easygoing personality inspired by the beatnik and jazz culture of the 1960s. After performing Floyd for more than 30 years, Jerry gradually stepped back from the role due to declining health. During that time, John Kennedy briefly performed Floyd before Jerry personally passed the role to Matt Vogel. Vogel made his debut as Floyd in the Studio DC Almost Live in 2008 and continues to perform the beloved bassist today.
Hey, Elvis, could you clear something up for me?
Sure, what is it?
I know I've asked this a lot in the past, but, are he and Janice like, a thing?
That's probably something that you might want to ask Floyd himself.
Yeah, you're probably right. I should ask him directly.
Ask me what?
Whoa!
Floyd! How did you get in here?
Your friend left the door open.
Elvis, really?
What? I thought I closed the door before we started the list.
Now, what was it you wanted to ask me?
Listen, Floyd, this isn't really an appropriate topic to discuss in public. Can we Can we talk about this later?
All right. I have to go and rehearse with the band anyways.
Yeah, okay, thanks, bye. Well, that was certainly awkward. Let's just move on to number 3.
Number 3. Robin the Frog from the Muppets. Robin is Kermit the Frog's young nephew and absolutely looks up to his uncle. The two share a close bond, with Robin often turning to Kermit for advice, encouragement, and support. Kermit is always there to guide Robin, while Robin admires Kermit and loves spending time with him. Their relationship is one of the warmest in the Muppet family.
Ah, so he's like a mini version of Kermit. Well, not really.
Yeah, well, not exactly.
Well, I'm just saying, Robin's more like a son than a nephew to Kermit. Don't you think?
I can definitely see why you'd say that. But anyways, Robin first appeared in the 1971 TV special The Frog Prince. While Frank Oz performed the puppetry in Robin's debut, Jerry Nelson provided the character's original voice. When Robin became a regular on The Muppet Show, Jerry took over both the voice and the puppetry, defining Robin's sweet, gentle, and optimistic personality. He also gave us some of Robin's most memorable musical moments, including the beloved song Halfway Down the Stairs. Jerry continued performing Robin for more than 30 years before gradually stepping back from Muppet productions. As he retired from many of his characters, he personally passed Robin on to Matt Vogel, who began performing him in A Muppet's Christmas, Letter to Santa, and continued through productions like Muppets Most Wanted. In 2017, when Matt Vogel became the new performer for Kermit the Frog, Robin was handed over to Peter Lynn so that Kermit and Robin could continue appearing together in the same scenes. Peter Lynch had performed Robin ever since, but the character's kind-hearted personality and gentle spirit will always reflect the wonderful foundation that Jerry Nelson created.
At number 2 is Gobo Fraggle from Fraggle Rock. Well, I've already talked about Pa Gorg, sort of. Now let's move on to the main star of the show, Gobo Fraggle. An explorer just like his uncle Traveling Matt, Gobo devotes himself to exploring all of Fraggle Rock, checking out many unexplored caverns and uncharted regions. The only time he does go into outer space is to pick up his uncle's postcards while evading Sprocket, the dog of outer space, or, in Gobo's words, the beast of outer space. In fact, Gobo finds inspiration through his uncle's postcards whenever his friends are in trouble. It wasn't until the Honk of Honks when Gobo actually interacted with Doc, the main silly creature of the show. His words, not mine. Also, I have to ask, do you think Gobo is Canadian?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, the show itself was filmed in Canada, and plus, whenever Gobo talks, sometimes he likes to put A at the end of every sentence. You know how, like, typical Canadians do?
Well, I didn't know about this because I don't recall seeing the show itself, neither the original or the reboot. I've only seen the bloopers of the reboot of Fraggle Rock. Well, season 1 of the reboot in Fraggle Rock.
Well, I think he's Canadian.
Anyways, Jerry Nelson originated Gobo Fraggle in the 1983 original series, giving the pragmatic explorer his signature Canadian tinged voice and musical soul. Then John Tartaglia took over the role in 2020 for Fraggle Rock, Rock On, and the 2022 reboot, Fraggle Rock, Back to the Rock, driven by a lifelong, deeply personal connection to the character. Now, admittedly, Jerry Nelson had other characters he played, besides the other 9 that we just talked about, and one that we will mention, but unfortunately, they didn't make it into this list. So we are going to mention a few of Jerry's other characters as our honorable mentions. But who should be the first to talk about our honorable mentions?
Well, I mean, the video is on your channel, so you should talk about your honorable mentions first.
Really? I thought that we would start with your honorable mentions first.
Are you sure?
Yeah, 100%.
Well, okay, I guess. For my honorable mentions, we have Farley. Now, there's not much to say about him, other than the fact that he has appeared on the street many a time, and he has appeared in some sketches. He's also a good friend of Elmo. Fleet Scribbler, the head gossip columnist of the Daily Scandal. Not much to say about him either, other than the fact that he likes to turn headlines negative, and in Kermit's desperate attempt not to have that in the press, he tries to make nice with Scribbler. Mr. Chatterley, appearing in early season 6 of the show, he appears as the main host of Alphabet Chat. Sadly, despite his efforts to talk about a certain letter of the day, he is always interrupted by either animals or the production crew. Not to mention, he looks like a blonde version of a certain character we still can't talk about yet until we get to him. And finally, half of the two-headed monster. I'm not sure if I should refer to the two-headed monster as he or them, since, they have 2 heads. When they first appeared, they were named after a food service company called Horn and Hardart. I don't know why. Anyway, the point is, the 2 heads sometimes argue with each other, but they do learn how to cooperate over time. Elvis, now it's your turn.
Alrighty, Crystal, if you insist. The first honorable mention I'm going to talk about is Frazzle. He's a growling monster on Sesame Street. His deceptively fierce visage hides a childlike personality and a desperate need to be included. Although he can be intimidating to others, Frazzle has emotions like the rest of us do, as expressed in his eponymous song, Frazzle. However, since his snarls and roars sound identical, regardless of his mood, the song required skilled interpreters in the form of the Frazzle tones. Next up is Marjorie the Trash Heap. She is a large, matronally sentient compost heap from Fraggle Rock. According to her rat-like companions, Philo and Gunge, who serve as her acolytes, the trash heap knows all and sees all. In fact, Marjorie is all, I'm orange peels, I'm coffee grounds, I'm wisdom. She serves as an oracle to the Fraggles, dispensing advice and wise sayings as the Fraggles stand in awe and reverence of her. However, the trash heap lives outside the caves of Fraggle Rock, residing in a corner of the Gorg's garden. This makes any journey to seek her wisdom perilous, as the Fraggles must sneak past Junior Gorg. Sherlock Hemlock, the self-appointed world's greatest detective dressed in the iconic Holmes deerstalker cap, inverted cape, and a large magnifying glass on his hand. And if you didn't know, Sherlock Hemlock is a Muppet spoof of Sherlock Holmes, as seen on Sesame Street. He prides himself on his powers of observation and does succeed in deciphering small clues, but he seldom arrives at a correct final solution without assistance. When he does find a clue, he often shouts, "Egad!" He speaks with a British accent, and his earliest appearances were often signaled by detective music, as Ernie called it, a series of dramatic stings on a piano.